People tend to ask me, what the fuck is wrong with you? People tend to ask me, what the fuck is that you do? Fuck you, what I do, get a camera, get a crew, fake light, is true snake eyes at the crew. Yeah, I'm hardly ever you, and I'm also really me, like damn, what it be, yin yang 19. September 21st, 2021, 2:10 a.m. I'm barely even hanging in some shit. I don't know. Wow, it's been a fucking minute. It feels like a lifetime since I've done this. I don't know. I just feel weird, man. Like, I just finished watching The Queen's Gambit, and it's kind of like it's a really good show. I really went into this with nothing on my mind other than I just watched that and then I jacked off. And then, fuck, I don't know what else I've done today. I finished writing a song, but talk about The Queen's Gambit a little bit because that shit was kind of interesting. It's like a genius chess player who's a woman, and she's like, an addict. And she's like struggling with the fact that, it's like she's like so good at her craft. And she's so young too. She's like, by the time I'm 25 and I'm already the best in the world, I think she was the best by 20 or 22. She doesn't know what's next in life. There's a scene in it where she's playing a kid prodigy who's a boy who's 12 at the time, and she's like 19, and he says his goal is to be world champion by 16, and she asks him, after you're 16 and you're world champion, what would you do next? And he says, what do you mean? He doesn't understand the question. When you're 16 and you're the best at what you do, what is next? Downfall is next. That's what's next. Motherfucking downfall. I'm not the best at what I do. Do I think I'm a genius? A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times I feel like I'm wasting potential, to be honest with you. So I feel like a lot of times, I'm just like wasting my potential, wasting my gifts, wasting my talent. But am I really? All the 52 songs are done for the year. I have last time I checked was today, I had 22 monthly Spotify listeners. I have more songs out than I have people who listen to my songs. Maybe it's just not talent at all. Maybe it's just fucking I'm trash. I suck at it, it's blind faith. I think I'm really good, really. I'm just average. Still an amateur, I don't even know if I'm singing in pitch or out. I don't even know if I'm saying the right word, I just do what I do, and I think I'm pretty good. I listen back, I like it, Most of my songs I like, more so than the newer ones. It's very funny. It's like perspective of things, When I first started, writing lyrics, I thought they were so good. You couldn't tell me, this wasn't the best shit. I remember my ex, Sydney, we were still dating in the summer before I went to college, summer 16, which is the best summer of my lifetime so far. And, I had written this line. This is, the very beginning when I was, dog shit, but I thought it was incredible. I sent her, I told her, I think I texted her or something. I said, start from a flower, I'm gonna grow to a tower. Some shit like that. I just remember it was flower to tower, and she's like she's saying like that's fucking awful. And I was like so like hurt by this. I was just like distraught. I was like, wow, like that's kind of like rude, but it's like, you know, it's also the truth, you know. It's the truth, and the truth hurts, you know, sometimes. I was like, all right. I don't know what I did the rest of the day, but I was probably like, you know, I was thinking about that a lot, because I still think about it to this day every once in a while. Speaking of Cindy, I can't even, like, look at her Instagram posts or watch her stories anymore without, like, just being like, damn, what the fuck even was that 2 years, 20 months of my life? Like, what? Like, I feel like I'm it's like such like a different side of who I was. I'm still the same person. You know, I talked to my sister on the phone today for an hour, and at the end of it, I'm just like, did I just talk to myself for an hour, or did I just, like, talk to, like, you know, it's like we're, like, so similar, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I just, like, talk, like, this person I've talked to more than, like, anyone else in my lifetime, like, times, like, 200, 2,000, 2 million, you know, like, I'm just like, what the hell? But yeah, Sydney, man, that's like a crazy part of my life. I've had a relationship since then, and I wonder if I'll ever have another one. It's been so long. It's been, what, since 2016, since we last broke up in summer 2016, freshman year 2017, and it was like on and off while she had a boyfriend, you know. Didn't know what was going on. I just knew, all I knew was I didn't know anything really, you know. You know, I broke up with Sydney because I wanted to, you know, fuck around in college. And turned out I had no game and no confidence, and was super shy and super introvert. And so that wasn't really who I was. You know, I wasn't going to just pick up chicks like it was easy, you know. I had never done it before. And, you know, rejection turned into me being afraid to ask, you know. And then it turned into don't even try anymore, really, you know. Because you already know you're not going to succeed. Like, why would you even fucking try? You pussy ass. So I stopped. And became, like, depressed and shit. And, you know, I've always had, like, really good friends, you know, who were, like, you know, confident in themselves. And, like, women just saw it. But, like, they just never saw, you know, what I had, I guess. Other than, like, my 2 girlfriends and, like, girls who I didn't find attractive, or girls, you know, who I didn't really want to date. Or, like, even, like, what the fuck is that, a duck? Some weird fucking animal from Australia. Who's posting up on me or some shit. But yeah, you know, it happened with, you know, Nehemiah. You know, it just happened with Devin, you know. A girl I've liked since, you know, 2019 is, like, dating my best work friend. And, like, I feel like I never had a shot. And, like, I feel like it's, like, out of my control, you know. Like being, like, sober around a bunch of people who get fucked up. And, like, even at first, you know, you want to date them just because you like them. At first, then you start to realize, like, their flaws and, like, your flaws. And you just know, like, it's not going to work out. Like, what's the point of even trying then? And, you know, like, being 23, you know, still, you know, in school, even though, like, I don't care about my major anymore. I'm just, you know, still in the program because I don't know what else I'd be doing with my time. Like, I think I'm working towards something. Really, I haven't learned anything in my major, just like my old major. It's the same path. Now I'm more fascinated with writing than I am music, as far as like learning something. Like, I'm reading a book about how to write a novel. I'm reading a book about how to write a book. Really good. And I'm more interested in that than I am in like learning how to mix songs, which I've never even learned really. I've kind of learned. I learned like 8, like 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And I was decent, but I wasn't very good at it. Well, compared to like really good like people, I'm sure I was decent in my class. Oh, I did also one time. I felt so accomplished when this happened. In my CMS class, which is commercial music software, which is the like beginner's program for audio engineering. It's like the like the beginning one. You take that before anything else. The first mix we did 3 mixes. The first mix we did, it's like everyone knows the same song, the class judges it, but you don't know who's just playing. And afterwards, he can tell you what your score was, because everyone raises their hands what you think they got, like 1, raise your hand, 2, raise your hand, like you want like a higher score, 10, raise your hand, okay. But everyone, you could even vote for yourselves, and you may know it's yours, you may not, because I didn't know what was mine. I don't have a good ear for like knowing what frequencies are what. I'm sure you could train it, but I don't have the natural thing for it, pretty much. Like what are the frequencies? What are the hertz? I've never had a good ear for it. I used to not like music. I didn't like music until my junior year of high school, when I was like pretty much introduced to hip hop, kind of. Basically, when I found like Logic and I had known who Drake and Eminem were, and God, I don't even know I knew who Kanye was at the time. I knew like barely anyone. I just knew like the biggest names. But then I found Logic on Spotify when I got Spotify, because they offered, at the time it was $10 a month. I was like, it's a lot of money, I thought. Because I don't like spending my money at all. I'm super like cheap and like afraid to spend it. Only thing I spend it now on is like food and my music, getting it mixed, and the covers. That's it. But yeah, the Spotify had a deal for the summer. It was like 99 cents for 3 months. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Like, $3 for 3 months? Yeah, like, let's sign me up. Like, I'll do it. And like, that was my junior year of high school. And now I pay $10 a month. That's like great marketing right there. Like, they got me, sort of say. I mean, it is a great purchase, though, like, for me. Because I could listen to any song I wanted to that was basically out. Like, it was like finding, like, a fucking, like, a box of, like, music, like, the incredible music. And, like, listen to any song I literally wanted to, like, almost that ever existed. Or that was, like, published, I guess. And, like, I fell in love. I told Alondra things that I've loved. My first love was like soccer, kind of. I didn't tell her like all my loves. I think I told her like 3. But soccer was like my first kind of love, and I was kind of young. I liked it because I was good at it. I worked hard at it. I remember specifically, I think I was like maybe 10. Maybe younger, maybe older, around that age, and I was the best player on our team. And I kind of knew that. There's also a guy who was pretty good too. They're kind of the best 2 players, and he was kind of like mess around and stuff. I think his name was Mario. He was like a forward. I was like a mid, defensive mid. This was back when it was 7-on-7, and you could like dominate more easily, pretty much. Because I barely played 11-11 before I gave it up. Fuck. What was I saying? Yeah, and the coach It's basically like he asked all the players, and one day in practice, it was kind of the year. Then he said, "Who's the best player here? Who's the hardest worker here? Who's the hardest worker here?" And they said, it's James. Like, it was like unanimous. Even like Mario, I'm pretty sure, was like, yeah, it's that motherfucker, the white ass motherfucker who's like tall and like can run fast and is fucking aggressive, is ruthless, will shove you down and kick you. He's fucking competitive. He's like a fucking 10-year-old psycho. And I was like, damn, like, I felt so good after that, That's like my peak of like soccer, and my greatest play was it's like the championship game, like I think 3rd or 4th grade. It was like playing like in the rec leagues. I just moved from Dallas, where I was like on a really good team, and I was like pretty decent. Well, I was pretty more than decent. I was really good as a young soccer player. I started playing at 2, It's like, what would you expect? But yeah, it was like my peak of soccer. My best play was like a game-winning, like a chest in the championship. Like it was like a cross, like I chested it in. I've also one time scored on a corner kick. Like I kicked the corner kick and like it just curved into the net, and I was like no one touched it. I was like, but they said it didn't count, I think. Oh, they said, I don't think you could score like that. I don't remember, but I was like, wait, did I just do that? I was like, I didn't even mean to do that. Like, that's like really cool. But yeah, then I gave up soccer because I fell in love with football. I really did. That was my next like obsession, pretty much, was football. I became super obsessed with it. I mean, I just like, I would play Madden, NFL coach all day. I started playing football in 4th grade. I was super new to it, but like my first day of practice, they had all the current players, like basically it was like a hidden drill. They would you get like on a stance, they go hut, and you hit the guy basically as hard as you can, and the next guy would go up. But it was everyone against me, so one guy would hit me and I would hit him back. It was like simultaneously. Next guy would come, we would hit simultaneously as well. I was like, wow, like this is like fucking tough. And I was like, I cried a lot, and I cried like in soccer because I'm just super emotional, and at the time at least, and like I was like, man, this is like so fun, like wow. And like we sucked that year. We didn't win a single game, but it was only a four team league, and everyone made the playoffs. And we were the 4th seed. We played the 1 seed, the Katy Tigers, who were undefeated. And we got blown out pretty much every game of the season. But that game right against they were undefeated. They were 6-0. We were 0-6, or 5-0, 0-5. There's 4 teams, so you played everyone like a couple times, pretty much. Yeah, you played everyone twice, it seems like. Yeah. And, we lost 6-0, which was our best game of the season. And I remember just being like feeling so good about it. Like, because we would get, I'm sure the few times we played before we lost, like 40-0, 40-7, 46. Never really came close. We were like, it was 4th grade. So we were like, I don't know. I was a little older than 10. I probably like 12 or something, maybe. I don't know exactly the age. No, not 12. I don't fucking know. Like 11, maybe. I don't know. Fuck it. Who cares this shit? But yeah, and I was a defensive end. Also, I was like a fullback, tight end. I also played a little lineman, I think. But my best thing was defensive end, because I would always get sacks. I was busting up the backfield. I was pretty good for my first year. And like my stepdad loved football, as he played like in high school, not college. I think, I don't know. I heard he was like decent, maybe. I have no idea. I think he was like a linebacker. He was my stepdad, so I don't have his genes or anything. But so he was like super proud, happy I was doing it. But and he would give me like Red Bull before the games, like amp me up, I think, or something. But it's funny because I would always play best whenever I was like crying or like upset or angry. I would play so good when it happened. Like pretty much if I got like smacked like on like an opening kickoff like by someone like blindsided me, and I would like start crying, and I would get so fucking like angry and amped up. Next play as a defensive end, I would fucking just blow up that lineman and like bust the running back or quarterback, you know. I mean, I would like feud off that, like being kicked on pretty much. And then next year I went to the Seven Lakes team, and I just like didn't like it as much because I wasn't like I was like one of the best players on the shitty team, you know, like. And on another team I wasn't like as good. I also was like, you know, super shy still, and all these guys went to my school, whereas the other one, I didn't know any of those guys because they went to like the other schools, like other elementaries. But this guy all went to my school, and I wasn't, you know, I was super shy. I've always been shy my whole life, and some of these guys like were one of the most popular guys in school, you know. And I was like, wow, like I feel like below them, you know, which is a common theme, like for me, I would say, growing up. But yeah, I also had an obsession. I would watch NFL Network, you know, like every day. I'd wake up early. I would wake up at 4 a.m. before school and watch it before school. And like school was at 6. I would have to leave for the bus at 6:38 a.m. every day, you know. It's like 6:36, Brittany, let's go, or 6:38, we gotta go. I think it was one of the two times. I'm really good at remembering numbers. Don't know why that is, but it's just how I've always been fascinated by numbers. That's why I was accounting, because like I just like numbers. Accounting is also, but it's more like, you know, like patterns and like equations and like memorizing it pretty much. But there are a little bit of numbers. Yeah, man, like NFL Network, I was super obsessed by the whole league, you know. I would fucking watch it a ton, you know. It's like what I became to like love, pretty much. My second love was, you know, football. And then basketball came around. Fucking basketball. I bought 2K11. 2K11, I bought it. And I was like, man, this is fun. I was in 7th grade when it was, yeah, 7th grade. Also, it was also around the times, so the Dallas Mavericks won 2011 NBA Finals, and I started watching it. Started watching the conference finals. Was the first playoff series I ever watched. It was 2011 Western Conference Finals with the Mavs against the Oklahoma State Thunder, the Baby Thunder. And the Mavs won in 5, and I was like so like amped. I was like so hyped because like I was born in Dallas. You know, I lived there until I was like 7, and I could have easily just been a Rockets fan. But I was like, no, Dallas, because I was a Cowboys fan, you know, growing up. Because, you know, so I was like, okay, Dallas are my teams, you know. You know, those are my teams. So like the Mavs are like pretty good with Dirk, and only thing I had known from basketball before that was I knew LeBron was good, and I knew that I was a bandwagon 08 Celtics fan when they all teamed up. I just like had like Ray Allen like on my notebook because they said like, you know, put some like pictures on it, but whatever. That was before I even like watched basketball. But yeah, 2011 finals, you know, the Mavs won, and I was just like so like ecstatic, and that might be the peak of my whole basketball existence because the Mavs haven't won a playoff series since. And now they have Luka Doncic, and like lately I'm just like, man, basketball isn't really as fun anymore to me, you know. I mean, it's still interesting, it's just not as interesting. I don't know if you're noticing a pattern, you know. I don't watch soccer anymore. I haven't like cared about soccer since like 7th grade maybe. I think that's when I quit. I haven't cared about football really since I think I stopped watching pretty much like after high school. Like it's still kind of interesting, but it's like not the same. It's like not nearly as exciting to me. I used to be in 20 fantasy leagues at the same time, you know. And I remember I fucking joined like a league, a bunch of like old like guys like in their like 30s and like 20s and like 40s or something like that. And I had the third pick, and they kept asking me, who are you going to take with the pick? Who would you take with the first pick? I think they said. I was like, Michael Vick. I'm like, what? I think it just went to the league, but I meant Michael Turner, the old Falcons running back. I think I ended up drafting with the third pick. I think Adrian Peterson won or something like that. I don't really remember. I don't even remember how I did in the league, honestly. I'd like to know how I actually did, but I have no idea. Yeah, but after basketball, I did play for 1 year. 8th grade. Wait, no. Yeah, 8th grade. Wait. Yeah, 8th grade. I was on the C team. We went undefeated. I was like one of the worst players on the team, but because I'd never played basketball on a team before. You know, I was just happy I made the team. You know, literally like 2 days before like the tryouts, I'm like doing left-handed layup because I don't know how to do a left-handed layup. You know, because I say like you're gonna be drills of you have to make a left-handed layup. I was like, okay, fuck, I gotta practice this. So I did have a basketball, not a very tiny court in my backyard, but blessed to have that shit. Was like, I would have battles with my best friend Hunter and that shit. He never won, but like he was like, you know, he was like a football guy. He was very physical on defense and shit. He sucked at offense. Like I could leave him wide open. He missed a layup. But yeah, he closest he came was 40 to 36. We would play to 10. Like whoever got to 10, you know, was each quarter. It's like 10. Let's say it's 10-8 at the end of the first quarter. You know, 20. First one 20 was halftime. We go inside to get a water break, and then 30, 40 for the third and fourth. And 40 was one, like at the win. And I was like, we would play every Friday after school. I think it was like 7th or 8th grade. It was somewhere in middle school. Because he was my next door neighbor as well. I don't even know where I am right now. Like, where am I walking? Yeah, man, that shit was fun. Some of the best times in my life was when we played basketball. I mean, right now, I'm missing something competitive, you know. Music isn't really competitive. And when you're all alone doing it, you know, eventually it doesn't become fun anymore. After a while, it burns off, where you need other people to feed off of. And right now, I'm kind of lacking that, you know. And I just, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm also I want like companionship with someone, you know. I feel very alone, like Elizabeth Harmon does, like felt alone all the time. Like I connected with this line a lot. Like she said, like it's like basically it's like I don't know if it was a line, but it was basically like a statement, like from the thing. Like she was like fine with being alone, but she didn't want to be alone. That's how I am. Like I'm fine with being alone. Like I'm used to it, you know. But I don't want to be alone like constantly, which has been how I've been pretty much since Sydney. You know. But yeah, so after basketball, my next love. Oh yeah, just a little reference. I played football from 4th grade. I played at 4th grade, 5th grade. I didn't play in 6th grade. I played in 7th grade and 8th grade. By 8th grade, I got to the point where I just like didn't like it anymore. And I remember specifically during tryouts, I said I'm not going to try it all because I don't want to play this year. Like I was like I'm done. Like I don't care about it anymore. Like I just like this is like so boring. And I remember wishing I would get hurt. So I hope I get injured so I don't have to play. And so I made C team, whereas the year before I was on B team because I actually tried, you know, back then. And whereas this year I would say like anytime I was drill, I would like kind of just like back up, you know. I was in the background the whole time, you know, like not standing out the whole time, like not trying when I was in the drill. And so I got put on C team, and like my best friend Hunter was also on C team, whereas he was on B team as well with me, but he wanted to be on A team, you know. He was like try hard, where I was like, man, I don't really like this anymore. And I remember he was super bummed out by it. I was like, dude, like, think about this right now. We're both on fucking C team. We're better than C team. We can dominate. We can fucking dominate. I come to that realization. I was like, this is genius. Like, we're never going to be, like, incredible. Like, really, man, like, we're not going to be ever, this is, like, going to be, like, our best chance to just have a fun-ass season and be, like, dominant. You know, like, let's enjoy this. First play is opening kickoff against some team. I fucking blasted guy. Like, when I would get blasted and I cried, I fucking blasted this motherfucker on kickoff. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to fucking dominate this season. I was playing cornerback on defense. I should have been playing fucking linebacker. I had to play linebacker the year before. I was linebacker, and I was I a receiver? I know I was a receiver in high school, but was I a receiver in, I don't know, because you played offense and defense. Was I was a receiver, I was like a tight end. It was one of the two. I don't remember. But I know I was an outside linebacker, like a blitzing linebacker, pretty much. I don't remember. I mean, I was just a cornerback. I think I don't even know what I was, if I was on offense, even though I was like clearly better than like the running back. Like, I remember all the players said like James should be like the running back. It was like this like fucking slow ass motherfucker douchebag Richie Hand. Like, fuck that guy. He sucked. He was so slow. He was a douchebag. Like, I don't know. But they also but the coach was like, no, like, just be Richie though, because like, fuck James, I guess. Also, because I was like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm fucking good. I wasn't like braggadocious. I was like super like, not very confident in myself. Was shy, which was led to everything. All the struggles in my life are because I am shy, to be honest. Which leads to less confident in yourself. But yeah, that's football pretty much. I did play ninth grade. I was a receiver on the B team. It was only an A and B team. And I remember during tryouts, I was a receiver, okay? I didn't do off-season conditioning that summer before. Everyone else did that. Like, I didn't, like, 8th grade, I didn't play because I was hurt. During tryouts, I was a receiver, okay? And I'm like making these great cuts. Like, I was really good at route running. I was catching the ball. I didn't have the best hands though, to be honest. And the coach, I could tell the coaches were impressed with how I was doing. This is freshman tryouts, keep in mind, The head coach comes over because they tell him, like, yo, check this guy out. He's actually pretty fucking good. And I shit you not. This is probably the lowest of my football career. I fucking, drop every pass that he sees. Like, I'm just, nervous, I guess, Like, I'm in my fucking head. The first one drops and the second one drops. It's just, I fucking folded under the pressure, And, we had, 14 receivers on the B team. And I was, third string. So, I barely played. We ran the ball a whole season. I don't know if I even caught a pass the whole season, to be honest. That's, I don't even know, if I did catch a pass at all. Because we would just run the ball. Anytime we did throw, we would throw, maybe, we probably threw it, 10 times a game, whereas we ran it, 50 times. It was, insane. So, yeah. Barely caught a pass. And I just, I was like, I don't care about this anymore. I'm done with this. Because of something else. Also because I would have quit regardless. My fourth love and my greatest love by far at the time, cross country and track, man. This shit, don't know why it was so fun. Well, it was so fun. First of all, the coach, I had an incredible coach. This guy could have been an Olympic coach. He was so passionate. He cared so much about everyone. And he was like a motivator, he prepared, he had quotes ready all the time, and he spoke about people and made you want to run through a brick wall. And he believed in me so much. I remember my sophomore year, he told me, you could run in the pros, which no one else here has that same potential as you. And I was like, me? I'm like, I'm not that good. I'm good. I'm like incredible, but he made me believe I was incredible. Whereas no one else had ever made. My soccer coach did make me feel like that when he said that, but like, you know, like I was like, wow, like really? Like, okay. I mean, because I just run a really good like practice run. Like, it was a 4 mile. I ran 21:58, I think, and like had beaten Enrique, who was our best sophomore. And like I just like it was like 4 mile run. And I just been like wow, like that's 21:59. I remember, because the week before I ran 22 flat. And I just been like, damn, like I'm here. I have a ride, because my freshman year I was on the team and I just like sucked because I didn't really care. My ninth grade year was like a really big like transitions year, as far as like I had no motivation or anything, whereas my sophomore year I was not super motivated in cross country track. You know, like without cross country track, that shit probably saved my life, because I was like going nowhere quick. You know, really like I had awful GPA. I didn't like, you know, I was always grounded because of my grades. I didn't have much friends. I mean, I still had my best friend and stuff, but like, you know, I was like, what the fuck am I doing in my life, kind of. And I became obsessed again. It's like the other three sports before me. And I've always been like a good runner, like in like soccer and stuff. I always liked running, so it just kind of like fit me well. You know, I'm 6'1", I got long legs, you know. So yeah. And cross country, it's a very long story, longer than the other ones, because like it's like more previous, and you know, it was basically I'll skip high school. I feel like I can talk about that another time, because it's a really long thing and I don't want to get into it right now. But it's like a short summary, you know. Ninth grade year, I didn't really like care. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Sophomore year, I had made great strides, but had kind of like, well, I wouldn't race well. I would run well in practice, because like I guess like the nerves like would hit me and I wouldn't like do well, I assume. And I would just like I don't know, but yeah. Junior year was like the year like I was really like sophomore year. My coaches expected me to just like basically like become like a superstar, like become like the third best runner on the team, because the other two like were like a grade above me and they're really good. Like they ran at A&M in college, although they dwindled out quickly after that. In their senior years, they got 6th and 21st at state, which is really good. I think I think it was 21st. I don't know, but yeah. And they expect me to maybe even be better than them. I don't know, because I had a lot of talent, and really what I think held me back was, you know, what I ate. You know, my parents, how they fed me, because I didn't know anything about diets. You know, I didn't know what was like good for you. I ate like shit. I still eat like shit constantly. You know, had I ate well, and had like you just had more like self-confidence in races, I'm sure I would have been a beast right away my sophomore year. And I shown flashes all the time, you know, of me like being good. You know, I ran every single day, you know. But then my junior year, sophomore year, I basically was my first like real year of running, because my freshman year was kind of just me fucking around, to be honest. But yeah, the junior year, you know, I took, you know, my sophomore year, basically was like a good stride year, you know. I set a lot of PRs, I got a lot better. But I really should have been like already way better, because, you know, I should have been. Junior year, I just ran like shit. You know, I had gotten better still, but like, you know, I was still ways away. I wasn't even on varsity my junior year cross country, you know. Like, I wasn't even really close. You know, I was the best guy on JV though, so I mean, there's that. But like, you know, I still wasn't really close in cross country. And then, right after districts ends in cross country, I started talking to Sydney. You know, like she like re-enters in my life. We actually talked my freshman year, but she went to a different school, because like our school like was so big, like it like split into 2 different schools. So like a new school basically was built. She went to that school. She was always grounded, but she re-entered my life. You know, she texted me like it was like on Halloween. I was out for a run. I'll never forget. My friend Cameron came over afterwards. We started talking about it. This is crazy. And that was like one of those happiest moments of my life. I don't know, because like I liked her so much freshman year. I know she like liked me a bunch, and I knew as soon as she texted me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna date this girl. Like there's no doubt about it in my mind. Like no doubt at all. This is the girl I liked while I was dating my first girlfriend. But she was like MIA because she was grounded then, but like didn't have Instagram or anything like that. Because her mom was like her mom was like the fucking devil, to be honest. She was a cancer. She was like one of the first cancers in my life, top like one of the first 5, I would say. That's a whole subject on its own, like all the cancers in my life and her fucking mom. The cancer in my life right now is my work, my boss Paul, like the owner of the restaurant. He's the cancer in my life. There's always one, and OCU and cross country was my head coach, Coach Aguero. That dude was the fucking worst. So also, it's as a kid, it was even sometimes now, it's my stepdad, my dad, like Robert, like that dude's like the cancer in my life constantly. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still like it's still like he's more of a headache now than cancer. He's more of a headache. He's like, oh God, can you just like go away? Like it's like not gonna kill me if you stay, but like I'd prefer if like you weren't just like so like unbearable to talk to, pretty much. Because he literally keeps me from talking to my mom, or I would hang out with my mom all the time if like he wasn't around. But I just don't like the guy, to be honest. And it's not because he's my stepdad. Like if he's my real dad, I still wouldn't fucking like the guy. Like I just wouldn't. I don't like my real dad either, so that's kind of self-evidence. Appreciate the guy, he's like thanks for raising me, kinda, but at the same time, like I think I could have done it without you, because I don't like you. Like these are the people in life who I'm just like, there's struggle and there's like, I don't know. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, junior year, I started to Sydney, and immediately I started running the incredible. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like this hearing just kind of felt like kicked in, or it was her, but I started blasting off like a fucking superstar. I remember right after my district's race ended, and like that next like week or two, we ran like a time 3 mile, and I fucking like peed like a motherfucker. I had like a huge, really good time. And like the guys in my grade who were on varsity was 3 guys. It was Faraz, Paul, and Enrique. Enrique was the best out of the 3. And like what the fuck? Like this motherfucker finally coming around, because the coach the whole time. Coach is like, this guy should be like on like he should be a 3rd best runner. Like it's not like first, it's like 2nd or 1st. But I just never saw the light. I said I wasn't going to give details somewhere. I'm trying to make this quick because I don't want to talk about it too much, because it could be its own fucking topic for like a long ass conversation. But yeah, started running really good, and then that like track season came around. It's always like, so there's cross country season in the fall, and in the spring there's track, and by track I was like a fucking like the best. Like so it's also the top 3 on varsity, and the 3rd guy was like, there were 3 seniors, and like that guy he also ran for college. He ran to school, actually went to Falcon. He was really good. He like worked hard and stuff, and he was a little better than me, but not by a lot. But, like he was obviously better in cross country, but like in track, in the mile and stuff, he was a little bit better, like very close, better than me. Like I remember I beat him in like a mile. At a time I ran 4:39. I think it was. Might have been before track season. And I beat him. And I remember at one point I was ahead of Roderick and Chandler. But then they passed me kind of. It was like 200 meters ago, and I passed them. I was like, I can fucking win this. I was like so excited. And they quickly said, nah, motherfucker. Like, nah, you ain't better than us. Like, and they just passed me and shit. I felt so good at that time. But yeah, I eventually won JV districts, 434 mile. And I was like, damn, I fucking did that shit. Like, I'm a fucking champ. Fuck on me, get some money, some shit like that. I also did run some varsity races my sophomore year. I forgot to say that, yeah. But I didn't run any varsity races my junior year, because also by the time my sophomore year it ended, I was on JV again. But yeah, If I jump, let me fall. What am I saying? Yeah. So then junior ends. You know, I'm like really good. I'm like, all right. I'm probably gonna be. I'm like. We also had like a time out after the end of the season. I was like first. Like it was a time 3 mile actually, because like we were on 5K. 3 miles is very close. Like a 5K is 3.1 miles. Whereas like, you know, so we ran that, and I was like, I won pretty easily. Honestly, like the whole time I knew I was gonna win too. Which is like, it's like a great feeling to just know you're gonna win, and you actually do win. Yeah, I won that shit. And then right around the summer began, I got fucking mono. I was wanting to die for 2 weeks. Didn't run for 2 weeks. I was like so sick. I had strep throat. My nose was always clogged, so I couldn't breathe out of my throat or my nose. I was always exhausted. I always wake up in cold sweats. I was slept for like hours. And I was me for 2 weeks. I was just like a fucking just like so sick. I thought I wanted to die eventually. It was like make the pain go away, dude. I'm so sick of this. So then I come back for cross country after like running for 2 weeks. I was like, man. I remember the first one I ran. I was like, man, like I am so like fucking out of shape now. And I remember thinking like, wow, like there goes my senior year. There goes like my big opportunity to just like have a great season. Like I was like, because I had never had a good summer of training. For whatever reason, it just never happened. It was like this summer I run really good, and I'm in great shape before the season starts. You know, I'm ready to just dominate from the beginning. But that didn't happen. You know, started on 20 miles a week, and I would build up every week to 30, 40, 50, 60. So the whole summer, instead of like getting better, I was trying to get back to where I was. That blows, man. I'm still a little like salty about it. It still like makes me very upset, you know. I remember Sydney saying like, I tell her like, oh, I'm never gonna be as good, you know, or like I can be as good, but like, you know, like there was my golden chance to just be like incredible and stuff. It's like, no, like everything happens for a reason. And I was like, fuck that, like that's so stupid. So then, you know, like the whole cross country season, I'm like super inconsistent. Like I would run good sometimes in practice, but race had never ran that good. I was also on 80 miles a week for 5 weeks, which was like, man, that was so fun. Wow, I missed that so much. I missed cross country. I missed senior year of cross country. Senior year in general was just so fun. You know, it was like the time of my life. That was a time. That was my peak, to be honest, in life. It's a bit, kind of. I'm gonna go inside and just sit in the backyard for a while. Give me a sec. Alright. I am inside. I'm going to the backyard. I'm now almost there. My dogs are coming out. What's up, dogs? You gonna come outside, or you just gonna sit there? You come outside, you gonna sit there? Alright, you do that. Both places a shithole, huh? Hello. Don't lick my leg, please. Yes, you are very fun. Yep, you're awesome. Nice to see you. Wow, this is y'all's place to hang around. Remember there was a pool here earlier? I shot a music video in this backyard when there was a pool that we drained. The prologue. That was really fun. That was super fucking fun. But yeah, back to what I was saying about cross country. What was I saying, by the way? Senior year? Yeah, so I eventually got back to my old self. Slowly but surely. And I would have peaks and I would have lows. But the week before districts was College Park Invitational, which was my big PR day. I hit 16:23 and I got 5th in the race, which was my best finish in varsity ever. Enrique got 2nd, I want to say. And Paul came in right after me, or Andy did, and then Chris was a little bit far behind, and we got 2nd. We would have won had Chris came in right after Gandy, because we basically went I was 5th, Paul was 6th, and then Gandy was 7th, and Chris was 20th or 19th or something like that. We had a really good 5th guy. We would have, which should have been Faraz, should have been that motherfucker. He was on varsity the year before. He was our 7th man the whole year, 6 or 7. I was I was telling him he's a 6th god. He was a big Drake fan like I was in high school. Bro, you're the 6th god. You gotta be a fucking 5 guy. You'd be 4. You gotta be 3. What are you doing? He just never really got that. He kind of peaked out at some, but he's we could be a way better athlete, dude. What are you doing? Oh, there's my dog running at something. Very intense right now. Very scary. On high alert. But yeah, so I had 16:23, and then at districts, people are you PR'd, bro. Guys, I didn't know who they were. At Taylor, the shit school, they sucked ass, and they're I was oh, you're pretty good now. I'm who the hell are y'all? And I'll never forget that race either. That was the only time I ever ran below 16 minutes. I hit 15:55. I got 10th place. And I remember before that race, I knew it was gonna be close. So the top 3 teams go to regionals, and I knew there was a good chance we don't make that. This is my last cross country race ever, because I knew there's a good chance we wouldn't make it out. Because we knew Katie was gonna win. They were the best school, and we knew Strake was close to as good as we were. And I don't know who the 4th team was. I really don't know. But I'll never forget. So Enrique is this is 800 meters ago. Enrique is he's 5th maybe. He's top 8 at the time. And me, Paul, and Gandy are all around 12, 11, 12, 13, and Chris is 20s, And I'll forget Coach Rathke saying, "Y'all better move, or we're not going to regions." At that time, and I just took off. I was oh, I'm giving everything I got. I'm gone. I'm moving right now. And I eventually caught up with Enrique, and I just felt so good. I was like, let's fucking do this, bro. You and me, we're fucking, we're gonna make it out, because top 10 make it out regardless. They even move the regions regardless. Even if your team doesn't make it out, you can still make it as an individual. And we're chilling in 5th, and the last 200 meters come up, and I'm dead. I am out of energy, and I got passed by 3-4 people, because I'm known for having big kicks, but because I would save up, but I had nothing left. That's when my running strategy had changed forever for how I ran races, because I would go earlier. I wouldn't wait around, I was gonna be done by the time the race ended, and I PR'd, because it's evidence I did give it all I had. And I got 10th, so I attempted to get a medal. I got a medal, and we got 3rd, and we made it out. And I remember before the race, oh yeah, I knew I wouldn't make it out. We wouldn't make it out, and I was I almost cried. I was I got so emotional, but I was man, but yeah, I was so super happy with it. And then with the regionals, where I was all right, maybe I can PR again. What's next for the PR? Because I was at my peak shape at the time. I was really good in practice, and I was not really good in the meets. and it was like muddier than dog shit. Like it was like the worst possible race for a PR. And I think I got a 17:31, but I got 21st. Oh yeah, I also I came in second in just like I came in second again to regionals, but this time Paul got first. Paul, usually Enrique is our top runner, but Paul got first. And I was like, way to go, fucking Paul. He barely beat me. I think he was like 10 seconds ahead of me, but I was like, way to go, man. Like I want to be first, but like hey, like you helped the team. And top 3 make it out again, and we got third again. Just barely. So yeah, like Katie got first again. We knew they were to win. Because it's like stupid, like how good they were. And then I think top 4 make it out that time. And in some school we didn't know who they, like something like Flower Mountain, I don't even know who the fuck it was. They got second, which was like a slap. Like we fucking lost to this school. But then we got third, and Shrake Jesuit, who we lost to last week, they got 4th. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, we were going to state, and I was like, wow, like we fucking did it, And I knew we were gonna win, like. So I was like, this is like a race, and I went, but it was also muddy again. It was like super like muddy. Like my coach was saying that there's like you don't know what can happen. Like anything can happen. It's like muddy, It was more muddy than regionals. Like people were falling the whole race. I did fall once, and like some people had awful times. It would fall like down like in the hill and shit. Had to get back up, and I think Corbin got 4th at regionals. He was like a sophomore. I think he got 4th or 5th. Like he was like came in huge for us. I think Gandy had a bad race. He was a sophomore as well. That's so weird. Corbin was on. That's so weird to me. Like what the fuck? That's so weird. Wait. I don't know. Was Frost on that team as well? I don't know. Wait. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yes. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he was on the team as well. That's just so weird to me. Sorry, it's like a random thing. Corbin was like this like small like sophomore, like very tiny, but he was like really good at a young age and stuff. But he kind of like didn't do that well because I think he was like he kind of got burnt out. I think because he started at a young age, he got burnt out. Like everyone does, I feel like like I get burnt out all the time and stuff. Like I'm pretty evident in this podcast. Might have Marbury Volume 4. Swig of water. But yeah, so then we go to state, and before the race happened, I said, I'm just gonna enjoy this. Yeah, we there was a tiny chance we could have won, but we knew we weren't. Like I knew we weren't gonna win. Like we didn't have like the talent like to win. I think I ended up being like 49th in the race or something like that, like 47th or something. And I was our first place finisher as well. I ran like a 17 something again because it was super muddy. I think like I don't even know what first place had like a 16 like 04, which is like awful for like first. Like first would probably like a 15 like 30 or 15 20, 15 10, 15 flat kind of area. Maybe sub 15. It also was like a harder course. It's very hilly and shit. But I just like ran like with so much joy the whole time, and like just had a really just had like a good. It was like this will be a key experience, like I was like I'm just gonna enjoy it. So I did, and I finished super muddy. I had mud all over my face as well. I just like kind of embraced it, and we got 9th out of 16, and that was it. We did Nike South like a couple weeks later, because I was like I wanted to do it actually. So oh my gosh, I was like no, I want to do it. Like let's do it. And I remember I slipped I started in last week. I slipped, and I couldn't get. I had to get my shoe. I put my shoe back on. Sorry, I started in dead last basically, and I passed. I remember it was like over 100 people. I don't remember exactly, but that was my exact last. It was muddy again as well. Like how stupid. Like all those were. Like I could have like had a great PR, but I never could because I was so muddy. But yeah, that was cross country, and then track. Man, I don't want to talk about track. I don't know why I spent so much time on it. But yeah, track came along and shit. Fucking tired. So yeah. Cross country was my 4th love. Sydney was my 5th love. My sixth love was in music. My seventh love was writing my novel, like novels, and I haven't discovered my eighth love yet. You know, I'm waiting on that. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a new thing. But what will be that eighth love? Remind me on the next one to kind of go back where I left off, my high school track thing. You know, people actually, if you actually like watch, if you listen to this whole thing, and at the end, if you could comment, letting me know you actually watched this the whole, or watch, but like listen, pretty much. Comments, high school track. Like you start on high school track for volume 5. And I'll know to start there, cause I'm burnt out, man. I'm feeling burnt out on music. I got burnt out on cross country. I got burnt out on Sydney. I got burnt out on soccer, football, basketball. I'm feeling burnt out on music, man, and I'm more interested in my novel right now. And I was burnt out at work as well as an expo until I became a server. I was an expo for 2 years and a month before I became a server. And I've been serving since May. It is September. So month 5 to month 9, I've been a server for 4 months. I'm not burnt out on it yet. I'm sure it'll happen. It's gonna happen. Definitely, it's just a matter of time before it happens, pretty much. You know, you gotta find things that like keep you interested. You gotta find new things, you know, because eventually, you can't just do one thing. You're gonna get bored of it. Like eventually you're become like very good at it. Like you become a master of the craft. Kind of like where maybe like a master of like all masters, but kind of master of like where you are, like how far you want to go. And I fear that music is like gonna like fade away, because lately I haven't made, and I did write like a verse today that finished the song, but lately I haven't been making much music. You know, this whole summer, all I've really made is John Bain to the Burnout. It's like 14 songs. Like, and I haven't finished 2 of them, but like, whereas beforehand, I remember I made 6 songs in 7 days one time. Like that were on John Bain and Peace and Tranquility. Like I did that. Like I didn't record them, but I wrote 6 songs in 7 days. That's crazy to me. Like, that work ethic is not present right now. I don't have that same passion. Now, when I was talking with Malachi this summer, it was getting better because I was conversing with someone, but like, no longer can I do this really alone. I've realized, I'm gonna get burnt out. Like, I can do it, but I'm not gonna have that same like quality of music. Well, maybe not the same quality, but like the same like production level, because I want to be like really good at this. I want to go down as like a great one. Like I either want to be a great one, or I don't want to be anything. It's like all or nothing. It's kind of like that addict, persona, like that what breeds me. I want to be something, or I want to be nothing. That's just kind of who I am. I've worked on my novel for over 2 years now, and I'm not gonna finish it for a while still. Like, it might be 3 years before it's even out, which is a long time. I'm about to be CJ's age in the novel. I started writing it at 21. When I was 21, I started writing that novel, and I'm gonna be CJ's at 24. I saw him as like such an older person, and now I'm basically that guy. It's very cool, that concept of it. It's a very real like novel. Like, there are a lot of things that like are like more like kind of sci-fi, and like there's like portals, but like it's very real of like who I am as a person, and like what I could have been, and like what I think about, and like what interests me, and like what I think of just on the spot. A lot of it is just like I just do it on the spot. There's like not a lot of planning that went into the novel. Granted, now like I'm reading a book on how to write a book, so like the revisions will hopefully will be like more entertaining for the person. But for me, this is very entertaining for me. As far as like not, I haven't read barely any novels. I haven't read 10 novels. I've read lower than 10. And I already have the next novel planned, but like, novels are such like a long, rigorous task. There's a lot of, you got to work on it every day, and I don't have that drive right now. I really don't. I had it for like 3 days. Like 3 days ago, I had it. I would like work. I would like read that novel, and I would take notes, and I was like super motivated to like do it, and like I burn out in 3 days, man. Like, it happens. I remember my sister she had like studied. She had like take this exam before she could take over this company for her estate sale company, and like basically when she finished, it was like a lot of money on the other side because you own a estate sale. Like, she had a sale this weekend that went really well. It was the second one, I think. But like she's like work on it and wouldn't work on it for a long time. I was like, don't you want this? She's like, yeah, but like you get burnt out pretty much. You're doing other stuff as well. You're not just focused on that one thing. And people have flaws. Like, my flaws are out there. I know my sister's flaws. I know Devin's flaws. Well, Devin's flaws are complicated. I know Alondra's flaws. I know Hunter's flaws, my best friend. I know my mom's flaws. I know my stepdad's got a lot of flaws. I know all of them. I know Paul's flaws, the owner of my restaurant. I know, like, everyone has flaws. LeBron has flaws. He can't make late game free throws. I'm just kidding. But he's a poor free throw shooter. It's like one flaw. Like, not a great 3-point shooter, but he's still, he's still the best right now. For the most part, Giannis might be better than him. And Giannis has flaws. The best player, and the guy who just won Finals MVP, has a major flaw in his game. He can't shoot. He's a poor shooter. But he's so dominant at what he's good at. And he sticks to it, It's not about what you're bad at. It's about what you're good at, pretty much. You can work on the things you're bad at and you make them better, but, what you're best at is what's going to make you succeed, I never am I ever going to, be interested in, like, building, like, a fucking, like, pit, or, like, building, like, a fucking swimming pool, like, or, like, building, like making a fence. Like, that will never interest me, so I'll never be good at it. Like, if I had to work at that, if I had a job in that, I would fucking hate it. Never am I interested in, like, I don't know, a lot of shit, I just want to fuck a lot, I feel like, because when I had a girlfriend, I was like always like wanting like fuck and like get my dick sucked and shit. And my shit became like a fucking like animal. And like my novel, like I'm like that as well. Whereas I'll like write like a fucking scene in my novel. It's like, and it gets me like so, like I make myself like fucking like wanting to fuck in it. Like, cause I'm like, it was like, cause like the girl will be like so like seductive, and like I'll be like playing along with it. Like, a lot of like the fantasies I have like when I watch porn and shit. And I'll like a fucking like raging boner. I'll just jack off right afterwards, and it's like, damn, that's it. Like, that's all that my highs is now. Like, there's like no more weed, So my new high, like the only high I really have is like, whereas endorphins coming is like, jacking off and like music kind of, and like flirting sometimes, but like there's no great high right now. They're like in my life, I need a new high, and I don't know what that is. I wrote something down the other day. I can look at it, but let me see. It was in my notes. It was about weed. Scroll to the bottom. There's so many fucking things in here. All right, so I said, back when I smoked weed, the only good part of my day was when I was high. Now, the only bad parts of my day are when I think about weed. Pretty much like back when I was like smoking weed all the fucking time. The only thing I looked forward to was getting high. When I was high, I was like, man, this is so nice. Like, life is good. When I wasn't high, life was like, all right, when I get high, life will be good again, pretty much. So that's all I cared about, was getting high. And I would procrastinate so hard on music, and I wanted to do it. Like, I was like, nah, I'm gonna get high instead. Because when I smoked, I was a potato. Like, people say, there's strands that can, like, make you do shit. Like, okay, like, I never found those strands, I guess. I just wasn't lucky enough. I don't know. And, like, nowadays, like, I know I can't smoke weed at all because I'll, like, go psycho. I'll hit, like, mania and psychosis eventually. But, man, if I don't want to smoke sometimes, or, have a drink of alcohol. I've been sober for almost 2 years now. It's been 10 months. It'll be 11 months tomorrow, actually, the 22nd September. I got my 2-year sobriety coming up, the 10/22. And I remember telling Devin, like, cause he and, like, Devin Landry and, like, Joanna, like, they go out, they drink a lot, like smoke. He's a huge smoker now. He's found, like, weed, like, smokes and drinks a lot. Whereas when I met him, he didn't really do any of that. But he says mostly because his girlfriend, his ex now, Emily, like, kind of why he didn't do that. I think he said he just, like, didn't, like, believe in it, pretty much, or whatever. It was, like, super against it. And she's like, no offense to Devin, but she's, like, a fucking freak, what it sounds like. Like, fuck that hoe. I'm sure she's a nice girl, but, like, I don't know. People are fucking crazy. Yeah, I remember telling him, like, yeah, I'll revisit at 2 years, and that was like, it was like 4 months away at the time, and now, like, it's like a month away, and I'm just like, I don't really thought about it lately, to be honest. Like, my thoughts lately I just shouldn't do it. Like, and no, but, like, right now I'm just like, I want to fucking drink, I want to smoke right now, because I'm thinking about it a lot. And now, like, I'm sad. Like, I'm not high, I'm low right now, because I'm thinking about it, and how fun it was, and how fun it'd be to do it with my friends, pretty much. Because when I spoke with my friends, Nehemiah, I've talked about this on this podcast. Nehemiah, T-Wade, and Elijah in that bathroom were like the best times of my life. Like, without a doubt. Sydney's kind of close, because I was just, like, super, like, fun too. But as far as like just like fun, and, like, not like success, it's just like having pure fun, like, those were it right there. Those are the times, man. And now I'm all alone. I don't know. Can't go home. I'm all alone and in the zone. I have a phone but no one to call, so I just bought at the Oracle. They closed on the damn Oracle. Antisocial on occasion, antisocial my location. Consequence or isolation, can we find a new fixation? I'm something like a incognito as I go in your casino. Take your money, I'm bandito, Spanish women, love Latino, life in chaos, what's the payoff? Come full circle, in all purple, in the middle of a riddle, as I fiddle with this dribble. All I know is heartbreak, all I know is heartache. God is a facade, he left us for our counterpart. What has life come to? One big Photoshop. Change it outside, but on the inside I so fall apart. Yeah, I do it, but I'd rather not have to be real life art and fall apart. My thoughts just ride. Yeah. Man, Antisocial is like, that song is like, anytime I hear, I play, I'm like, fuck me up, man. It's such a good song. Might be my favorite I've ever made, to be honest. It's just so nice. It's so peaceful. Yeah, it's like such great content, man. It's so good. I'm definitely gonna listen to it after I'm done, which I feel like I'm almost done. But man, life is a trip, man. That's facts. Life's a fucking trip. I think about killing myself all the time, to be honest. I think about, just ending it. I'm super unhappy right now. At this present moment, not in general, just at this moment, I'm super unhappy. I just want to like smoke weed and like chill out. I want to smoke weed right now and just like relax and like just like have everything be okay. But instead, I'm gonna listen to that song and just like drink some water instead of alcohol and just chill out. Probably watch some Impractical Jokers rest of the night. And I'll pass out. I'll wake up tomorrow. I'll go to work. I'll come home from work. I'll wake up the next day, go to class. Online, be asleep most of the time, like I was today. Then I'll maybe write some music, maybe read that book again, hopefully. Then I'll wake up Thursday. I'll go to work. I'll come home. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up Friday. Go to work. Come home. Go to sleep. Wake up Saturday. Go to work. Come home. Fall asleep. Wake up Sunday. Go to work. Come home. And fall asleep. Wake up Monday, go to class, be tired and sleep a little bit, fuck around, go to sleep. That's my life. That's how exciting it is. There's not a lot of highs right now. There's really not. Again, I don't know why every time I do this podcast, at the end of it, I just feel like shit. And I'm always so down. But it just happens like that. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why every time I'm just so depressed at the end of this and during this and it just happens, I guess. Because people don't want depressing shit. Most people don't. They want to feel good about life, but life ain't fucking a fairy tale. I'm looking at a star right now in the sky that's traveled millions of light years, thousands of light years to get this very moment on my retina of my eye. It's been shining longer than humanity's probably existed. It's been traveling this far longer than humanity's probably existed. It's think about that. Light has been traveling through the universe to my retina, this thing I'm looking at. The sun, shines. It's takes 7 minutes to get to where it is. Everything you see from the sun is 7 minutes old, pretty much. If the sun were to disappear, there would be sunshine for 7 minutes, even though there's no sun, and then eventually, as that last bit of light hits Earth, everything would go black. And then Earth would eventually become a fucking shithole. It'd become very cold very quickly. But yeah. That's life, man. That's the thing that I think about, I love my brain. I don't love my life. That's so true though. I love my brain. I don't live my life. I wish I could be in a simulation right now, just getting high, fucking chicks, doing cocaine, smoking weed, tripping acid, performing on stage while I get my dick sucked, just like doing like outlandish things, and just, at the same time, next simulation is, just having a family, and like eating breakfast, like looking at my wife's tits, and like I have my kids, like this 2-year-old baby we created next to me, and like a 4-year-old, just like running around like a fucking maniac, Like being a father, I think I would be a great father, because like I know what it takes to like inspire someone. I feel like now, and I think about it all the time, like like what I would do as a father, like the things I would like say, like motivate them, like instill confidence. It's like things like I feel like I wasn't like told, like other than like Coach Rathy was like the most. Like the biggest father figure, my biggest father figure I've ever had, I would say, like for sure. Like I never told him that, I really wish I had told him that, and I just wasn't like very open though. And I feel like he really did save my life in a way, because I was going nowhere. I'm going nowhere right now as well. I have 52 songs that'll be coming out, and I have nothing to show for it as far as a fan base. What do you desire? Shit like that. And I don't want to end this podcast on just me rambling and then ending. I want to end it on like something that kind of like something to think about, something to take away from this thing. Because it's stupid to just be talking and just end the conversation. And this isn't singing about me. I'm dying of thirst. This is the end of Night of Epiphany right here. This is it. Which is the album that will come out after Temptations, after the 52. I have named it Night of Epiphany. It's the NK tape. If I change the name, it's the NK tape. The last song on that thing is a fucking masterpiece, and it ends greatly. Really good. The intro is incredible. The intro might be the best song on the whole tape. And it was the second song I wrote for the tape as well. The only reason why I even did the tape was because of Sebastian. He never even wrote his fucking verse. What the fuck is he doing? I don't know what he's doing with his life right now. Like, hit me back, write the fucking verse. Tell me you don't want to write the verse. Tell me something, man. Like, respond to me. What is wrong with you? Seriously, I don't understand it. Like, if you're hearing this, Sebastian, please, tell me, respond. And Malachi, dude, like, what are you doing with your life, man? The star is gone. The star has... If I look up, I can barely see it, but the trees are blocking it now. The light is no longer hitting my retina from that star. Just like... I don't know. Just like life. But yeah, man. Whatever I need, whatever is to come, I hope it's something positive. I need something new, like that song I wrote with T Wade. I need something new right now, because I'm just not happy currently. I'm okay, but I'm not happy in general. I don't know what I need. I feel like a girlfriend would be nice, but I don't know if that's the solution. It's more of a want. Is that a need? It's more of a want, What do I need? I don't know what that is. I think I need like a positive friend group, like a sober friend group. I feel like I need something that just like makes me like, I don't know. There's gonna be highs and lows constantly in life. You can't solve that. It's just gonna happen. You're never gonna be always happy. You're never gonna be always, you could be always sad. That's actually I've lived that. And I have been mostly happy. Like my senior year, I was mostly happy almost all the time. I was just in a great mood because I had a girlfriend, and I was really good at the thing I was doing. So maybe the solution is this: having a girlfriend and being good having a friend group, and also having friends who make music, and working all the time, and like getting better at marketing for music. So that's my biggest flaw right now, is I don't market at all for it, and I don't really care to. I should do. That's the reason why I'm not. That's why I have 22 monthly listeners on Spotify, because I don't market my music. But yeah, gotta find a solution, right, man? Because you can't just stand in this spot and just feel sorry for yourself, because no one feels bad for you. Like, no one cares that you're dead. To be like, I'm sorry, but no one gives a fuck that you're dead. Like, we don't care. If you're no one and you're dead, we don't care, like, that you're fucking dead. If you're Mac Miller, yeah, we're fucking sad that you're fucking dead. Like, we wish you were here. But if you're James Marbury, and I'm some person in fucking Brazil who's never heard of you, I don't give a fuck you're dead. I never even knew you existed. Like, so stop feeling sorry for yourself. Fucking do something. Fucking like do something. I ran a motivation, I don't know. But yeah, man, that's my message to you. Go do something with your life, Doesn't have to be a lot, just, you can start slow, but like, everyday persistence is how I made 52 songs happen for a year. That's how it happened. Regardless if you like the music or not, like, I did it. Granted, I'm on week 41 right now, but like, it's gonna happen, because all the songs are done. I just need the artworks to be done. It's gonna happen. Like, I did it pretty much. They're all done. I did it. Be proud of that. And I don't even give a fuck about it. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I'm never satisfied, it seems like. But that's okay. Because the highs will come, the lows will come, but then in the end, you're going to die. You might reincarnate as something else. You might wake up. This was a simulation. In the end, there's got to be a higher power, right? You just can't be random. It's got to be a higher power. You can't be random. It can't be. I hope I meet God. I hope I meet my higher power one day. Even if that's me. I hope I meet my higher power. I hope heaven exists, or something kind of like similar to that. But maybe heaven isn't it. Maybe it's like being dead, and like being dead for like forever is the answer, because you need like peace, and like maybe this life is like you live it, and like at the end you're just like you're asleep forever. And mortality is scary. It's a scary thing to think about. Like the fact of being dead, and like no afterlife being because we don't know if there's an afterlife. You could go to next dimension, the fourth dimension, because people are like like my fucking granddad's like here, dude. Like, I can fucking feel his presence and shit, or like shit like that. There's like ghosts exist and shit like that. Like heaven, like angels and demons, like they can't just be random, right? Who knows? God knows if he exists. He fucking knows. Or it knows. I don't know if it's a he, it's a she. Does God have a penis, or does he have a vagina? Or does he just have like nothing there? What is God's, like, does it have a dick? Does it have a vagina? Does it just have like a fucking like a spot there? Like nothing, just just skin. That's fucking funny, man. I joke a lot with God, because they say his love is everlasting. And if that's true, I can make jokes about his dick. I can talk shit about it in my novel, because like it's all at the end, it's not that fucking serious. It's really not. Like, don't take life too serious sometimes, man. Just like fucking chill out. Have a laugh. Like, that's why I like watching like shows that make me laugh, because life is too fucking serious sometimes. It's not that fucking deep, man. Chill out every once in a while. Watch Parks and Rec. Watch Community. Watch Impractical Jokers. Watch Trailer Park Boys. Watch, shit like that. The Office. Because at the end of the day, like, laughter is probably the best thing that I think exists. Sex, laughter, love, like music, exercising, like those, like, feeling accomplished. Like, those are things that I love, and some of them happen a lot, some of them don't, but, the point is eventually they'll come, hopefully. And if you listen to this right now, thank you, because I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate if I know you, if I don't, I appreciate you caring about whatever I'm saying, even if I'm saying nonsense you think. If you're hearing this and you're like, 2067, and I'm like dead, or I'm like, I'm alive, but I'm like, barely ticking, I'm just like, in my 60s or some shit. I'll be in my 60s, I think, or 40s. I'm fucking tired, but nothing lasts forever. The Bee Gees will be forgotten one day, as will the Beatles, as will I, as will Drake, as will Mac Miller, as will Beethoven. They will be forgotten eventually. Brady will be forgotten. He will be forgotten. Montana will be forgotten. But you know what? In the moments that they were it, the moments while they were alive and breathing, they did their thing, just like I'm doing my thing right now. The highs and lows are just part of it. You gotta fight through it. You can't give up. You can't. Mind of Marbury Volume 4. Mind of Marbury Volume 4. John Bay to the Burnout. John Bain to the Burnout. Coming not soon, but we'll be out eventually. Roll out, bitches. No, I can't end on that. Good morning.